How about a mountain of news, Panthers fans? You're watching Panthers Today by Chat Sports, presented by PrizePicks. And on today's show, we're going to talk about Bryce Young as we have a major update there. We have a big-time update on the Carolina left tackle spot, and then the Panthers' schedule. What do we know about the Panthers' schedule so far before it gets released on Thursday? Let's just start with some great news with that Panthers schedule, as the Panthers are one of the least traveled teams in the entire NFL for 2026. The most air miles for the 2026 NFL schedule based on your opponents for this season, your road opponents, well, the 49ers at 38,000 miles. Now, I'll say this. All these teams have international games for 2026. It's not necessarily all domestic travel here. You got the 49ers at 38,000 miles and the Rams at 34,000 miles. About, like, 16,000 of the miles for each of these are just going to Australia alone in week one there and back. So obviously a little bit skewed there. The Texans at 28,000, the Cowboys at nearly 28,000, and the Patriots at 27.5. And then you go all the way down. Most teams are about in the 19,000 to 15,000 range. And then you go all the way down to 28th with the Packers at 12,000. The Buccaneers at 12,000 as well. The Chicago Bears at 10,000. Central to the United States makes sense there. They don't have any international games. Neither do the Panthers. And the Cleveland Browns there, another Midwest, Central to the United States type of team. They only travel 9,000 miles. That's a big drop-off from even the Packers at 12,000. Oh, yeah, and then the Carolina Panthers at 8,740 miles. That's insane. I'll also say this. Some of the most traveled teams in the NFL last year, like a bunch of them made the playoffs. One of them won the Super Bowl in the Seattle Seahawks. So it doesn't tell everything, but with the wear and tear of the NFL season and then all the major travel that you have to do along with it, it's okay and a good sign and a nice news for the Carolina Panthers that they're all the way at the bottom at 32. If you're ready for the Carolina Panthers schedule to drop, do one thing for me. Get fired up and hit that thumbs up icon like today's video, because we're going to know the entire schedule for Carolina in just about 24 hours from right now. All right, we got a big-time Bryce Young update next on today's show as Dan Morgan talks once again about the possibility and the timeline of a Bryce Young contract extension. They recently signed his fifth-year option, so he's under contract for 2 more years, but he continues to get asked questions about this now, this time from Rich Eisen. Here's Dan Morgan's response. In terms of a long-term contract, we'll keep talking about that here internally. We'll get it done at the right time if we're going to do it. We'll talk to Bryce's representatives, kind of keep those discussions here internally. Obviously, we believe in Bryce. He's gotten better every single year. He's developing as a leader. He has such a good grasp of Coach Canales and Brad Idzik's offense. He's just getting better every single day. We're obviously really excited about him. So yeah, kind of the similar things that he's been saying as of late when he's gotten these types of questions, but a big clarification of an if we're going to do it at the beginning of that quote. That makes sense. It's okay for that to be the case. It should not be that controversial. I don't really understand why this is such a big talking point. I just told you guys, he signed his 5th-year option, and he's not playing on the 5th-year option this season. He is on his 4th year of his contract coming up, the last guaranteed year of the rookie deal. And then he's got another season after. So why can't he just play out this year and then we talk an extension after that? Because it's not like he's proven that he's worth $50 million just yet. I mean, he's improved every single year, but improved from being one of the worst quarterbacks in football, if not the worst quarterback in football back in 2023. Then he was benched in 2024, then brought back into the lineup. Maybe that was the kick in the ass that he needed because he had a much better 2025 season. But still, 3,000 yards, 63% completion on 23 touchdowns to 11 picks. Like, those aren't MVP numbers. Those aren't even, like, Kyler Murray numbers for guys who have gotten picked number 1 overall. Like, those aren't even super high-end starter numbers. Now, he is really clutch when it comes to when the game's on the line. He's got great game-winning drive ability. He played well in the playoffs, but still not worth $50 million just yet. Here's what Bryce Young said in the 2026 season upcoming. Obviously, we want to make sure that we can be confident with some of the positives from last year, but also we understand that last year was last year. This is a new season. We all start 0-0. There's no carryover. We're not entitled to anything. Yeah, no shit. You certainly aren't entitled to much after going 8-9. I get you won the division, but you didn't even win a playoff game. So, yeah, of course, you're not entitled to much just yet. Will Bryce Young earn a big money extension? You let me know down in the comment section. Predict it. Y for yes or N for no on if the Panthers are going to cash out Bryce Young at some point or not. We'll talk more about it, and we'll talk more on this show later in just a second. But first, I got to tell you guys about our sponsor on today's show, as this episode is brought to you by PrizePicks, America's #1 app for Sports Picks, where all you do is pick more or less on a few players' stats. You watch a game and you watch the winnings roll in. Use that code HMA. You're going to get $50 in lineups instantly after your first $5 lineup. I've been using PrizePicks for years now, longer than they've even been a sponsor here at Chat Sports. It's the best, like super easy to use. They're always offering new features. They just had a Taco Tuesday last night where they discount stat projections. They'll have Flex Friday where if you miss out on your lineup, you'll get it back in promo funds. And it's even becoming a social event as well, where you can share PrizePicks with your friends, copy lineups with a single click into your own. You can even follow me on the app at Tyler J. Smith and see all of my lineups, including tonight's playoff basketball action, where I got Donovan Mitchell more than 8.5 field goals made after that monster second half that he had last time out against the Pistons. Evan Mobley more than 3.5 assists for him. It's a demon pick, increases the multiplier, tougher to hit. And Jalen Duren, less than 23.5 points, rebounds, assists. You can take my picks or fade them. Just do it at PrizePicks. And like I said, new users, you download the app today, use the code HMA. You're getting $50 in lineups added to your account instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code HMA. You play your first $5 lineup, you're getting $50 in lineups instantly with PrizePicks. The clickable link to download the app is in the comment section and description of today's video. A major battle at the left tackle spot has been confirmed by Dan Morgan, and I am pumped up for it. I wasn't originally pumped up about the Monroe Freeling pick at 19th overall, but now that we've seen him in rookie minicamp, we've seen him kind of put some work in and wow this coaching staff a little bit, a camp battle has been confirmed for the starting left tackle spot on this Carolina Panthers team between Rasheed Walker, who they brought in free agency, and Monroe Freeling. Obviously, Ike Ekwonu going to be out all of, if not most of the season with that torn patellar. These two guys are your healthy bodies at that spot, and I think it's a great problem to have that these two are going at it heading into camp. Dan Morgan said this about Monroe Freeling after rookie minicamp. In terms of Monroe, he'll compete with Rasheed, and we were lucky to get him in free agency. Another guy we think highly about. A veteran who's played a lot of games in this league. We feel like we have a lot of optionality there, and looking forward to seeing those guys compete. It makes sense that they're going to give the 19th overall pick in the NFL draft a chance. It wasn't a position where I thought the Panthers needed to go in the first round. I personally would have went with a guy like Dylan Thieneman at that spot, shore up safety for the foreseeable future. But they went with the guy in Monroe Freeling, who at the time I figured, yeah, that's a draft for depth. Dave Canales said he wasn't really a fan of that. Now he could end up starting his rookie season and being the franchise tackle moving forward. His PFF grades in 2025 back at Georgia weren't necessarily eye-popping, but he's also playing against the best defensive lines in all of college football. He's going up against one of the best defensive lines in all of college football day after day after day in practice. 85 pass block grade. He's one of the best at his position last year. Got to shore some things up in the run, but that role really included, getting bigger and filling out, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that in a second. He only allowed 3 sacks in the season, just 9 pressures, and against some of the most ferocious defenses in all of the sport. Just, 0 QB hits outside of those 3 sacks. It's awesome, and only 2 times was he penalized in 891 snaps. And then when he got to the pre-draft process, he was wowing everybody. A 9.99 RAS score. That's unheard of at the left tackle spot. It ranks second out of 1,645 offensive tackles since 1987. That's ridiculous. Dude, he ran a sub-5 40-yard dash, a real sub-5 40-yard dash and a 4.8. He had a 32-inch vertical at the tackle spot. The guy's a physical freak at 6'7" and 325 pounds now. Yeah, that's right. He's 325 pounds now after playing around the 310 to 315 pound range at the college level. He's back up and bulking up ahead of rookie minicamp. That's what he came in. He's already putting in the work and trying to be this Panther starter heading into the season. Dave Canales said this on Monroe Freeling heading in. The work showed up. He looks great. He's moving well. So really pleased with that. He talked about the one-on-one matchups between Monroe Freeling and Lee Hunter and how exciting that is to see 2 guys who are just going to make each other better, go at it all offseason long. I'm pumped up for that. And it's honestly going to make Lee Hunter a better pass rusher by proxy too. It's just awesome stuff and awesome player development going on right now with the Carolina Panthers. Monroe Freeling could be a big-time beneficiary of that early in his career, but that's not to say that Rasheed Walker is going to let up this competition lightly at all. He was very solid last year at the NFL level, right? He did allow 5 sacks for Green Bay. He was a little bit above average at a 66 overall PFF grade. He was in a great pass blocker too. I could see these numbers being something similar to what Monroe Freeling has going on in his rookie year. He allowed 31 pressures, 9 penalties on the year. That's something I want to see, shored up a little bit at the left tackle spot, whether it be Rasheed Walker or Monroe Freeling. Like I just don't want to see the Panthers, shoot themselves in the foot on these drives because, again, Bryce Young isn't necessarily the biggest talent elevator. He's got to have talent surrounded around him, and the situation has to be right. So you don't want to have these guys getting stuck in the mud with penalties. The one thing that's great about Rasheed Walker here is he's incredibly durable. I mean, he hasn't missed a game basically over the last 3 seasons, and that's something that you can always count upon. And he's had, really above average grades, especially as a pass blocker. I'm curious to see what the Panthers do in terms of running the football toward the left side this year because both Freeling and Walker, it's something that they are kind of deficient at this point. But again, like Rasheed Walker in the NFL posted a 93.8 pass block win rate. 93.8%. That's ridiculous. That was 11th in all of the NFL at any position along the offensive line. However, though, he's 6'6", 325. Like now, all of a sudden, Monroe Freeling's got the size to match up. Like he's 6'7", 325. Raw, I mean, a ridiculous athlete. And look, he's incredibly skilled as a pass blocker, kind of a similar player to Rasheed Walker in that right. He may just end up being better in his rookie year. Pick one to start for me down in the comment section. Rasheed Walker type RW, Monroe Freeling type MF. He's a bad MF. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does for Carolina. Might just end up replacing Taylor Moton long term too. Panthers do have multiple rookies, in my opinion, though, that could start. Could and will start, as a matter of fact. I'm not going to stamp Monroe Freeling just yet because the pedigree and the experience and just like the production we've seen from Rasheed Walker in his NFL career should warrant him the spot. But there's not that much money guaranteed to him, so I wouldn't be surprised if they go with a guy like Freeling. But there's other guys in this roster, man, that could easily start in 2026. Lee Hunter, I think he is going to start. I think it's damn near a guarantee along the defensive line. But I put defensive line because I'm not quite sure where he's going to start on this roster just yet. Will it be the nose tackle? Will it be a 3-4 defensive end spot? Who is going to be the odd man out between Bobby Brown and Turk Wharton? Lee Hunter's going to start no matter what next to Derek Brown, though. Chris Brazzell, I think, is an opportunity for him there, too. With the void that the Panthers have as a vertical field stretcher, obviously Ted McMillan can go out there and do that, but Brazzell has the size and speed profile that not a lot of players on this team can match. So he's going to be a guy that I see getting a lot of snaps early on in his career, especially if Xavier Legette doesn't impress or progress as a player. Sam Hecht, I mean, he's in a battle already. We know that's going to go on with Luke Fortner in training camp. Even less guaranteed money in stock was put into Fortner heading into this season in free agency. I like the stopgap signing by them, but Sam Hecht is looked at as one of the best centers in all college football last year. Certainly a possibility to win that battle. Zakee Wheatley, probably the least likely to start heading into 2026, but I don't think it's out of the question because he's this great, rangy, over-the-top coverage safety. I'd say maybe better than Nick Scott eventually, too. So he could end up, blossoming down the line and starting later in the season at that free safety spot. That will do it for today's show, though. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, youtube.com/Panthers today for the latest and greatest under Carolina Panthers all offseason long. We'll see you guys next time, and as always, keep pounding.